There we go.
There it is.
We caught it this time.
Good for us.
The mic was on this
The
time,
mic was on.
but not connected to the computer.
It was connected. It was just not selected as the input device.
Oh, okay.
So,
Now, I welcome everybody.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
We're knitting again.
Yep.
I'm Anahí.
I'm Allie.
I'm Carine.
And whoever designed OBS streaming service, thank you so much for adding the little bar that tells you how loudly you're speaking.
The decibel bar.
Exactly, that thing. Because that's how Allie figured out that the mic wasn't connected.
Plugged in this time. It's making cool. It's got a light show that goes on when it happens when it's on, but it doesn't. The mic itself doesn't tell us. The computer does.
Absolutely.
Gosh, my glasses are so dirty.
But every time we go live, we get a little better at it.
It's only going
A
to take
little
us
bit.
like 6 years to actually master this.
Yeah,
Pretty
but
much.
like, no big deal, right?
That's fine. We'll be around in a while.
We got time.
Hopefully. Fingers
I
crossed.
I really like Selma Knits Little Big Knits podcast.
She's so great.
She's so great, and she just celebrated her 7-year podiversary.
Yeah, she did.
So congratulations, Selma.
Mm.
But also, I am always like, oh my god, I want to be like her when I grow up. She's so cute. The way that she edits her videos is so cool. But she's been doing it for 7 years.
Yeah.
So I think I can give us a little grace
Yeah.
for forgetting to turn the mic on.
Have you ever gone back and watched any of her earliest episodes?
No.
Or like any podcast you follow, go back to the beginning and watch some of their earliest episodes.
Okay.
It's really interesting to see someone's first couple of goes at it compared to where they're at now. Especially for podcasters who've been doing it for a really long time. It's really cool to see the growth like that. So
Yeah, it's also a very different...
I mean, the first time that we went live, Bilbo threw up. So
I almost threw up. Let's not bring
Yeah,
that
it
up
was,
or I might throw up again.
It was special. But, like, if you look at... I realize some of the podcasts, even, like, podcasts that are just, like...
Audio?
Audio. Even the first few episodes is the same thing. It's almost like you're searching for your voice, you're searching for your style. You're not sure what you're doing yet, so you're just trying a bunch of things, and it's almost like you're throwing a bunch of things on the wall and watching.
Then eventually people can afford a better mic.
Yeah.
Better editing. They get better at doing all the things.
yeah,
It's
one day will be so good. We won't even have to use my phone as a camera.
we'll get an actual camera.
We're gonna get an actual camera. But in the meantime, I think we look real cute. Look
yeah,
at
we do.
I think we look really cute. We sound
Oh,
good.
we said cute, and Bilbo came.
We said
He
cute
was like,
and
you
Bilbo
called?
joined.
You called?
Yeah, I did call you. You want to come up? No.
No.
Okay.
Maybe he
Goodbye.
thought food was going to be involved. I don't know.
You said the magic word.
Yeah, we don't
look at
say that word without really meaning it.
Oh, he's like, aw, guys, this is false advertising. I don't like this.
It is a beautiful day
Yes.
in Ottawa, and it is the day before
Canada Day.
our big national celebration.
Yep.
And we have feelings about it
Yep.
that are convoluted and complicated. Me being an immigrant is like a big question mark in how I feel about Canada Day.
Yep.
You being like, your family's from like mixed cultures as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
And Carine, you're from Quebec, so Quebec
Yes.
has an interesting relationship with
Yes.
Canada Day as well. So if you're celebrating tomorrow, I mean, I'm lightly celebrating and enjoying the fireworks. So if you are and you're happy about it, happy Canada Day to you. If you're not, we're wishing you a gentle day of taking care of yourself.
Good weather Monday. That's what we're
Yes.
Good Weather Monday is what we will...
Because remember, at the end of the day, if you have mixed feelings about the place where you're living and about what is happening in it and what decisions are being made by those in power, it is okay to be critical, and it is okay to use your voice to stand up for what you think is right.
Yeah.
And whether or not that includes celebrating or mourning in some cases,
Yeah.
then you do what is right for you.
Yes.
And I plan to sit and eat barbecue food for the majority of the day with people that I love, and
That's right.
that's what matters, is that I get to spend time with people that I love and care for.
That's right. And I'm wearing my little Canada shirt today, which is fun. Around this time of year, last year, I became a citizen officially. after 8.5-9 years of living in this country. So
yeah, I guess that's also a thing worth mentioning too. Like, we're sitting here having these thoughts, but also coming from the privilege of having Canadian citizenship, being in a place of safety and security where we can afford to be critical.
That's right.
And reflective.
That's right.
And maybe in opposition in some cases.
Yes.
Yeah.
And those discussions, however uncomfortable they may be for some people, are necessary because you don't want to just eclipse what happens or
yeah, exactly.
kind of just like push it aside just because you think you live in a great country. You know, we do live in a great country, but no country is perfect.
That's right. And country is people.
Hey, Liz says, hey Liz.
Hi, Liz.
Speaking about complicated feelings about Canada Day is a good thing.
It is really a good thing. And it's like, you know, I think it's a personal relationship that you have with your own identity. So, yeah, use the day to explore it. We have it off. Most likely, unless you are an essential worker, and if so, thank you for your service.
Thank you so much.
I hope
for
you
your
get
service.
double pay.
Yes,
I hope you get
triple
double pay.
pay.
Yeah, but if you have it off, it's a good time to just reflect and think about what you want your relationship with this place that we live in to be.
Yeah.
I know for myself, I don't know yet.
I like to think about...
I don't know yet.
How can I be a good community member? And that's both in, like, my neighborhood, my city, my region, my cultural community. That's what I like to spend the day doing. Like, how can I be a good and productive community member? And how can I put that into action in the rest of the year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's Canada Day. Yay! Not to be confused with July the 4th, which is Independence Day in the U.S.
Yeah,
Also a bunch of different feelings about that.
I mean, none of us are Americans, but still.
None of us are American, but there are neighbors, and I watched Hamilton, so.
I have a whole bunch of American family members, like family members who are American citizens, and every year when the, for lack of a better term, hyper-nationalism comes out, I just get confused. I am genuinely confused by the hyper-nationalism of the United States.
Well, I mean,
but at the same time, again, that comes from a place of privilege of having been in academia and having learned critical thinking skills from a relatively young age.
Yeah.
And, like, being pushed to think critically about the relationship between the United States and Canada. So, again, place of privilege.
Yes. We do have some of that here, too.
Yeah.
I've noticed it, especially in the last maybe a decade.
Like more intense patriotism, you mean?
A little bit more. And
okay.
I mean, you know, to each their own. But it is something that I've noticed a little bit more here that wasn't there before. Or at least I didn't notice it as much, maybe.
There must be something there that wasn't there before.
Let's hope we don't get
Disney.
slapped with a copyright lawsuit for that one.
No, but like if I'm singing it, is it still copyright?
No, we're not
It's like
singing
my
it.
interpretation.
But isn't it for like a duration? Because I know if you play a clip of music, well, I guess covers are different. But if you play a clip of the music from the actual movie, in the thing, I think if it's less than like 20 seconds, then it's fine. But if it's more than that,
right?
But I'm not too.
Let's not test it.
I'm
Let's
not
not-
an expert
let's
in
not
copyright
test it.
law.
Yeah.
I'm not even an expert in the law.
If you are an expert, let us know. And also, don't rat on us.
We're two small bones.
We are very fragile and we'll quit.
And too poor to go against the Disney machine.
Too poor.
We can't do this.
So, Carine, are you knitting on something fun today?
Yes, I am working on a new technique that I learned at Knit City, actually.
Cool.
It looks so good.
Well, technically, that's not exactly true. So, during Knit City, I did a workshop on, God, I can't pronounce it.
Fission.
Fission technique.
Fission.
But this one is more fusion, like the more traditional. They're very similar.
Fusion with a U and fission with an I.
Yeah, so fusion with a U is what I'm doing right now, which is essentially what you can kind of see here, where you have a backsplash of
a background color and a forward color.
Yeah, it's like essentially it's two colors and the background is the two colors intertwined, and then at the front of the stitch you have one color on one side, and then if I flip it over, the other color takes
It's like three-dimensional
stage.
double
Yeah,
knitting.
and what the main difference, I mean, there's more than just that difference between the two techniques, but the main difference between both is that in fusion, it's kind of like it sticks, right? So there's no, like you can't, a good test would be you can't put your needle under like easily. Versus
okay, so it's closer to double knitting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
versus fission, which is you're almost like knitting on top of the other, so you can lift it up. You can lift the stitch up a little bit, so it looks a little looser. And I kind of like both, but this is the pattern that I got. This is a pattern from Mary Kay Martin's.
We were talking about her last time, right?
I love her. Yes, I'm obsessed with these, and I've decided to make about like 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah, you're everybody's Christmas gifts. Liz says, not an expert, but I'm pretty sure you can sing it yourself without risk of getting hit with any copyright law.
Thank you.
There you go.
All right.
Phew.
But yeah, so this is me starting my gifts for this year, because I plan on using this technique for about 5 different things.
Fishing.
For Christmas?
Yes, Gerbo,
Yeah.
it is fishing knitting.
Fishing
All
knitting.
fishing knitting, yes. So yeah, and
So you're literally knitting Christmas in July.
because I'm crazy and I decided to knit for a lot of people.
No,
year.
but that's not weird though. A lot of people do their Christmas knitting early. I started my
And-
Christmas knitting in March.
I'm gonna be honest,
For the
I don't know if
eldest
I can
children.
finish this in time, so we're just gonna go with the flow. I already know what the order of like project is,
Yeah.
because I know who I really want to make a project for and who I'm
Yeah.
like, they can wait till next year.
Yeah.
If need be.
I am so amazed that you are willing to put this much time, money, and effort into Christmas gifts.
I mean,
Well-
this would be the first year that I would do that, and
Yeah.
I think I'm doing it because I think every single one of these people is knit worthy.
Aww.
They've shown it. They've shown it.
They've shown it before, so I feel like there are people I definitely want to do more of that
Yeah.
for. Some of them already know this is happening, others don't. That's okay.
That's all right.
And I think some of them will have the time to forget what
Yeah.
I am knitting for.
Linda, if you are watching, you can't. No spoilers, Linda.
No spoilers. Don't tell anybody. More importantly, forget I ever said anything.
Yeah.
So. But
We
yeah,
had-
what about you?
Okay, so you might remember that last time we had a stream, we were talking about Rebecca Clow
Mm-hmm.
and how her Tolsta, Toltsa,
Yeah.
T was having an upgrade in advance of the Tolsta tank
Yes,
coming
yes,
out.
yes, yes.
And I just couldn't stop thinking about it.
Same.
So I cast one on.
Same.
Why not?
Hold on, I've got mine too.
Okay, you want to hold it
I am
up?
also, yes.
Okay. I am knitting like lightning.
You're
on
doing the
this
DK
tee.
version.
I'm doing the DK version.
I'm doing the fingering weight version, and it'll be interesting to compare how far we've gotten.
They look so. I love this.
Because you cast it on, Ali, probably
Like a day
a
after?
day after
Yeah.
I did.
And I have this much left of my first ball. Like, it's a tiny nugget. So, we've probably got similar yardage, but you just have more length because you're
Yeah.
doing a DK.
Yeah, like, and we're gonna get close to the camera so you can see the difference in, like, the gauge.
Oh god, can I get
So
out?
you
This is
won't
a
be
better
able to
question.
see our mouths for a moment. Do you see the difference? Like, the fingering weight is looking so smooth, so soft, and the DK gauge,
very
it's more of
excited
an
about
open, like, it's
Yeah.
more of an open, like, gauge, a bit more like, it's like heavier but also more meshy.
You're also doing, it's like a hemp blend, isn't it? So,
Yeah.
overall, the yarn is going to be lighter.
Okay, so that's a really good segue into talking about, we had a little bit of a LYS visit not too long
Yes,
ago. the
literally
three of
after our
us.
last stream.
After our last stream, we were like still thinking about yarn. And so we took a little gander. Is the word gander?
Meander.
Me-
And I wouldn't call
meander?
it little.
We took a sizable meander across the river to Gatineau. Because Carine said it's just a short walk.
From her apartment. We walked
I
almost
mean-
all the way to her apartment. It was like 25 minutes of walking from the train station
And I
that
forgot.
we took.
For me, it was a short walk.
I forgot that you're like a really athletic, active person.
Yes.
for whom that is a reasonable short
I have
walk.
to admit, my problem is since I walk everywhere, everything is a short walk, right? So I forget what is an actual short
In
walk
another life,
for normal humans.
So Carine was like happily walking uphill to this like
And we were like going behind, like,
Okay.
gotta get some Gatorade. Got it, because it was also disgustingly hot because it was a heat wave.
Yeah, it was good. But it was so worth it, okay?
Okay.
Oh,
I don't
my
care
God.
what people say. That store was amazing.
No, the
And so
shop was amazing.
The shop we went to is called
Lelen
Lelen
Biscuit.
Biscuit, and Biscuit is the name of the owner's cat. So that's all you need to know.
That's
adorable.
really all you need to know.
Also, their logo is
Their
a green and
logo
white
is
cat.
a little cat.
And
And
the
this
store
yarn that
is-
I'm using, this store that I'm using is their house-made yarns. A lot of what they have for sale is their house-dyed yarns,
Yeah, their house
right?
brands. They've got 3
Their house
in-house brands.
So
And
I've
then they
got
also
two
carried a lot
colors.
of like other commercially dyed yarn, a lot of Noro, a lot of
Yes.
Double Sunday.
A lot of Rowan.
They have Sanders
Rowan,
Garn.
yeah.
They have
Sanders Garn, Rowan.
they have a lot of-
Estelle.
They also have a good amount of dyers that I didn't really know about, which I like.
That's cool.
Yeah, and
So-
they had lots of space, and they were said, because we went on their, I think, opening day or the second day,
Yeah.
that they were planning on getting more yarn lines in,
Yeah.
but that would come with time.
So Lelen Biscuit is on
Eddie
just
Street.
Eddie Street in Gatineau. So if you're in the area, please do give them a look. The yarn that I'm using is a 70% merino, 30% hemp mix, and it's been hand dyed. And it's one of their home collections called Louise
Robert
collection. There you go. Really, really nice, super soft, very airy. It has like these little specks or flecks of a little bit of pink, which I think it's just the hemp reacting differently
Yeah,
to
it doesn't take
the
in
dye.
the dye as
But
much.
I quite like it because it gives
it's
it
almost a tweedy effect.
a little bit of a tweed, yeah, but without being a tweed. And if you have used tweed before, you know that it's freaking delicate.
Yeah.
Because it's like piecey, right?
you
like
can pull
all
the
the
neps out really easily.
all the staples are sort of like very short now because it's sort of like a not a recycled yarn, but they use little like flecks from different fibers to like make those nibs. Nibs, not nips.
Neps. Neps is the word.
Neps. Okay, yeah.
Neps.
Please don't please don't like.
It's okay. English is your second language.
Okay, I was gonna say YouTube. This is not mature content. We're talking about yarn. It's neps.
Seriously.
So the neps, like,
You can pull them out pretty easily.
yeah, they just break and the strands are difficult to work with. But this yarn is actually quite strong because of the 70% merino that has kept the staple length, and the hemp just makes it more of like a summery, cozy vibe.
And hemp already has a really good tensile strength to it.
really,
So, yeah. Oh yeah.
it's my first time working with hemp. Well, I love it so far.
Fun
I would
historical
definitely do that
fact.
again.
Have you ever seen in Pirates of the Caribbean, the movies, the big ships, and they have those giant ropes?
Yeah.
They're all made out of hemp.
No.
Really?
Yeah, because what would happen is you would when you ply so when you spin the hemp fibers together and you
Yeah.
get them into long enough bundles,
Yeah.
it actually compounds the strength and makes them incredibly strong and able to hold a lot of weight. So hemp is actually a really good choice for a garment that you're going to be wearing quite often because it has the the strength and the
Durability.
hardware. Durability. Thank you. That's what I was looking for.
That's really
Yeah.
cool. I didn't know that.
That's very cool. Okay, well, you know where to go if you're a pirate or a knitter.
Yeah, seriously.
Lelen
It's-
Biscuit.
Yeah, it's really worth it. Well, for
Very
me,
cute.
For me, I was using this whole thing is just Alley Cat yarn because
We stand Melissa's yarn.
best yarn
Mwah.
ever.
Fans.
Wonderful. It's there's her Silk Yak Decay, which is absolutely marvelous.
Such a nice
And it
base.
is incredibly soft.
It's so soft. It's
Who
so
would have
wonderful.
thought that an animal such as a yak could produce fibers so soft?
I've touched a yak.
The yak
You've
knew.
touched it?
I've touched a yak. They're actually quite soft when you give them a pet.
I'm pretty sure all these animals are like, I know my first freaking or my what do you call it? Not
Yeah, because they
necessarily
know
fur.
their worth.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I know what I'm worth.
I know what I'm worth.
We saw Melissa at Fabrications a couple weekends ago during local yarn store day.
Hi, Melissa.
A bunch of us went for
It was
like-
List Day? No. Knit in Public Day.
Worldwide Knit in Public Day.
Yeah.
A bunch of us went for lunch at a local to us pub. It was lovely. We took over one of the rooms, which was really nice, and then on a whim, a couple of us were like, oh, I was thinking of going. And then a couple of friends were like, well, I have my car. And so, 8, 9 of us just like exited over to Fabrications.
Yeah.
And we saw Melissa. We got to hang out with some of the people there. And just had a good time.
Which, if you don't know, Fabrications is a fabric and crafts store in Ottawa on the
Is it on Carling? It's on Carling?
It's on Carling.
Yeah,
so it's like heading toward the west end of the city.
Yeah, further west. So for us, regularly, because of the area that we live in, that's a bit of a trek.
We don't have cars.
We don't.
Yes. By car, it would be relatively easy.
Yeah. So it's difficult to get there if you're on foot in transit, like we are. So it was an excellent opportunity.
Difficult, just long.
Just long. Bilbo, could you take a chill pill and stop licking my knee for a second? I'm trying to.
If you heard it, sorry.
Yeah.
He's very invested in your knees.
It's giving needy. Thank you though. That's enough. That's enough. So I was really happy.
Outraged.
I was really happy for the opportunity to make it to Fabrications. And the fact that Melissa was there with a special trunk show was just an extra cherry on top. Love that store. A bit far from me, but I love it. So yeah, it was really nice.
They have really good classes too. If anybody's ever interested in
I'm
getting
gonna take my first
things.
workshop.
We're doing
workshop. It's
like a sew-in.
sew along kind of deal.
Not so much a sew. It's like a supported sewing.
Yeah.
In the sense that like you bring your own pattern, you bring your own fabric, you are the boss of your own sauce, to quote you.
Yay!
However,
you're doing it with other people.
You're doing it with other people. You're using their machines, and then some of their teachers are there to like help you get through some of the tough parts of your individual projects.
Lord knows I'm gonna need it, but
Yeah. I mean,
I'm just here to build confidence. Okay.
I need an adult.
I need literally what
Pretty
we're
much,
talking like
pretty much,
we're talking about one of the projects I'm working on, and they're like, "Did you do anything about it?" I'm like, "No, I just cut the pieces. Now I'm waiting. I need adult supervision before I start doing.
Do not lick my leg, Bilbo. Don't do it. Don't. It's weird, and I'm not a fan.
Oh,
He just wants to
he
lick.
seems to have understood that.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Now he's back to you.
Good boy,
Cool,
Bilbo.
awesome. I'm sorry if I just flashed my feet to the internet. Actually, no, I'm not.
I could actually flash because I'm wearing hand knit socks.
In this heat?
Very beautiful.
Well, my feet were cold,
Okay, fair.
so these are the Thanksgiving socks by
Summerly.
Summerly Knits.
Love
Love
So
her.
is it my turn
podcast.
now, or what's happening? Why are you going for all the knees?
He's very needy.
Oh, get out of my house.
What are you talking about? This is great.
No.
No, I actually puns are my favorite kind
Yeah,
of
I know.
humor.
This is great. Did you know there's like
Yeah.
there's like dictionaries or books that are all about puns?
I believe it.
I gifted one to a coworker of mine a long time because he really liked puns. And he like lost his shit, and then I was like, "What did I just do?" Because for the next 2 months, all he did was like read puns randomly while we were at work, and I'm like, "No, I created a monster."
Let's see. Andy says hemp makes for good work shirts. I believe that. It's very soft to my limited experience, and apparently quite durable. So yeah, that's nice.
Yep.
So Allie, I know that we kind of skipped over you, but you are also knitting on your Tulsa tee.
I am, if I can hold it up in the right direction. I have to remember to put a tag in because I'm not going to remember the front and the back. I am also knitting on a Tulsa tee. I'm doing the fingering weight version. And this is really fun because when we were at Knit City, Toronto, Geraldine of the Wandering Flock Yarn Co. posted some of her new colors. And one of them was this one. It's called Tilang, which is, I want to say the Filipino name for, it's not, pea flower. Yeah.
Butterfly pea flower?
Yeah, I think it's the Filipino name for that flower, but I'm not entirely certain. Don't quote me on that.
Okay.
And so when I saw it on her Instagram, I was like, that's going to the top of the list. I bought 2 skeins of it, and then I knew I was going to make a t-shirt with it. Hadn't decided which. And then we started talking about the Tulsa tea, and I was like, done. Perfect.
Now is the time.
If
not you, who?
Exactly.
If not now,
When?
I was a little concerned about yardage because I only had the 2 skeins. So I pulled out a ball of yarn that I had in my stack. And I need to show the camera because this colorway is just too amazing. This is from Ginger Twist Yarn in Edinburgh, Scotland. I got it a couple years ago when I was there visiting friends.
we love a souvenir yarn.
Really. And
they're the best.
It's the Selkie colorway, and it's also their Bilbo. No, it's their yak base as well. So she has an in-house line that she dyes, and I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but look at how multi-faceted that beautiful dark blue is. So I thought...
It looks almost silver. Like it has like flecks of gray and like a darker brown.
The name Selkie
There's
is,
even some purple
in my opinion, the perfect name for this colorway.
What is Selkie?
So Selkies are a mythical creature in like Scottish folklore that live in lakes and then will... Or sorry, no, I'm thinking of Kelpies, not Selkies. Selkies are... mythical creatures that are seals in the water but can come out of the water, shed their skin, and be like humans. Women essentially.
Cool.
And in order to capture a Selkie, you have to steal their pelt when they've shed it when they're on land, and then you can like have you can have the Selkie do your bidding until you give the pelt back.
That's rude.
So
Yes,
it is.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Let the Selkies live. Let them swim.
Peacefully.
Let them frolic.
That's right.
But I thought for having a colorway that was based in folklore, like the name, I don't know. This seemed like the right one. So I'm using that for the ribbing, for the neck, the cuff, and then for the bottom.
I
And
really like that you color blocked your edges with the body.
Yeah.
It's looking so fancy.
And I think now that I'm almost finished the first ball, I'm gonna have more than enough yardage that I probably could have gotten away with doing it with these. But I also am like, I like how it looks.
Yeah, it's cute.
I like how it looks, and I already have plans. I went through my stash the other day, and I was like, I'm going to make a Tulsa out of that yarn, and I'm going to make a Tulsa out of that yarn. And so I have, like, percolating in my brain, like, 3 or 4 in the future. And the one I want to make next is yarn that I got from Alley Cat Yarns at the World Riding in Public Day Fabrications.
Yeah.
And I was like, how fun would it be if instead of doing ribbing, I did an I-cord? So I cast on...
I was thinking about that.
Cast on provisionally instead of knitting and ribbing, and then after come back and like do the I-cord with those held stitches. Same thing with the sleeves, same thing for the bottom, because it's a yak base that I have, and the drape on a yak is like, oh.
And now that you have a cordsmith,
Yes,
that's going to be a breeze.
Yes.
Yes,
It's going to be
I
a
do.
breeze.
I got myself a cordsmith too at Leyland Biscuit.
Yes.
Leyland Biscuit. It's great. I tried it out for just making some straps for a crochet top that I'm making. It's just, it goes like a breeze.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what weight of yarn it is. It always comes out perfect. I loved it. I love it.
Whoever
it.
So-
decided to, or invented this.
Her name is Autumn Goodman.
Okay.
Well,
She
Autumn,
is-
we love you.
She
Thank you.
is the powerhouse behind the Size Inclusive Collective on Instagram. So like doubly fantastic.
Ooh.
And if you want to see what it looks like and a little bit more information about it, I did show it in my Knit City vlog that I posted.
Because you got one from Barra Tricot.
Yes,
Yeah,
and it's bright pink.
So did I. I love it. It's so
It's
nice.
awesome. So I've had a chance to use it as well. It takes a little fiddling when you get started if you don't know how to use it. So I had to watch a couple of Instagram videos where people were like, this is how you do it, and then you're off to the races after that.
Because basically it's 3 latch hooks in a trench coat.
Yeah.
Which is super clever, very smart.
Mm-hmm.
But if you've never used latch hooks before, you have to like get used to the motion of pulling the yarn all the way back to the hilt of the hook so that it catches on the latch on the way back. So yeah, it's a bit of a learning curve, but if you are able to get a cordsmith and you like the look of I-cords, I really highly recommend it because it's great.
And she's recently come out with a mini version where there are 3 smaller hooks and they're much closer together. So you can get, you can use like fingering or lace weight yarn
socks and stuff.
and create what is essentially like a shoelace width of I-cord, which
That's
is really
so
fun.
cool.
Yeah. So
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
yeah.
Nice.
She's awesome. I am in love with that. But yeah, I am like on the Tolsta train now, and I think
Me
it's
too.
it's kind of funny that I have a Scottish designer and Scottish yarn, the dark blue, but the light blue is the Geraldine is Asian American, which is cool. She's Filipino American.
Nice.
So that's pretty fun.
And the Wandering Flock has such wonderful colorways.
We met her at Knit City Montreal last year.
Oh yeah.
It was her first time coming to any of the Knit Cities, and it was really cute because her booth was like so busy. Everything went like hotcakes, and I didn't get a chance to purchase anything at the beginning, which was fine. Her booth was so busy. I did not want to get into the scrum. I'm not super comfortable in big crowds, so I went back the second day, and she had almost entirely sold out by that point. And I don't wear pastels, which is what she had left, so I was like, I can order mine. Wait. But I spoke to her for a little bit, and she was like, I did not know that people knew us. I thought we were going to just have to really be like pushing our wares. Like, I didn't anticipate that people would recognize us and know our yarn.
Oh, Geraldine, you sweet summer child.
And I remember I was in the booth at one point with Sherry, and Sherry turns around and she's like, "No, everybody knows you, Geraldine."
Yeah, get used to the fame, babe.
So this year, they got a double booth at Knit City, and they brought so much yarn, and I that was one of the booths that I like beelined for because I really wanted this colorway.
Oh, I remember.
I was like, "Hey friends, bye friends," right to the booth. And after I had it like in my arms, and I was like, "Okay, now I can like actually be talking to someone because I'm literally holding what I want." I talked to Geraldine just very briefly because it was starting to get busy, and she said, "Yeah, there was a box of our stuff that didn't make it. It got lost in the mail. Oof. So they only had like 2/3 of the inventory that they had anticipated."
Woof.
But she was like, "We learned our lesson from Montreal. We brought what we thought we needed, and then like an extra amount on top of that." And by the time Sunday rolled around, I remember walking past their booth, and it was very much decreased. Yeah. So kudos to Geraldine for having an incredible line of yarn. She and her team were super friendly, super kind.
Yeah.
And
loved it.
They it sounded like they had a successful Knit City, which is what you want.
And I don't know what
businesses.
Shipping method everybody used, but this was not the only person who lost stuff.
Yeah, was it Sunshine Knits?
I forgot.
Sunflower yarns.
I think because I think
poor them.
They had nothing or almost nothing left. Nothing. Like they had to have a friend bring some of their stuff. Yeah. Like I don't understand what these shipping companies like. What do they do? Like how can you lose entire boxes of? I don't know.
Anyway,
do your jobs better.
I remember like really smaller scale and unrelated. But I remember my partner got me a Nintendo DS. Zelda edition that I really wanted, and it got lost in the mail.
I don't. You know what? A part of me is like, I don't want to say it. Like I have a feeling someone saw what it was, and was like, "Oh, I'm just gonna grab this," and you know what I mean. Like I'm not saying that that's what always happens, but I wouldn't be surprised if that's what happens sometimes.
Okay, so I had a package that got not so much lost in the mail, but redirected because it had been mislabeled, which was my own fault. I input the address in improperly. And what ended up happening is that it gets, like, if something is mislabeled, for example, it gets held so that they can see if they can figure it out. But if they're not able to figure out where it goes, it gets sent back. But every step along that is done by a different unit of people within the mail system. So when things get stuck in those cracks between these different units, that's wherein things get lost.
Well, yeah, because there's a change of hands, right?
Hopefully some of them actually do make their way back to the original person. So even if it's like a while later, but hopefully they can re-get their, like get back their stuff.
Because I just like at the scale that I have yarn, I would be devastated.
Oh, I would like
if a box full of it got lost.
Oh yeah,
because I understand how expensive and precious and
not only that, but in this case, this is your livelihood. You're trying to sell this. This is stuff you made yourself,
food on your table.
Exactly. Yeah. It's not like I would be devastated if my collection got lost. I would be. But I would still have my job. I would still be able to...
But as a producer, as a vendor, it's
but
even
there's that
more
extra problematic of, like, I need to pay my bills.
Yeah. So, some drama at Knit City, Toronto. But we had a good time anyway.
Oh, no, it was super fun.
Yeah, we had a good time anyway. And lovely. I think, like, that vendor ended up being able to sell their samples.
Which was awesome.
Yeah, they were able... I think they ended up
were selling their shawls
after the fact. Yeah. Being like, thank you for, like, stepping up.
A lot of people did. Yeah, a lot of people did come through and help, which was amazing.
I got some really cool embroidery floss from her. And some
I got some of the
patches as well.
I got the
also
patches.
Featured in my Knit City vlog if you haven't watched it.
Go watch it! You did a great job at that.
Yeah, it was cute.
I promised Ali that I was going to take some footage to add into the blog, and I completely blanked.
Well, none of us took footage inside the venue. We were all like...
Because it's like you get in there and you're like, what was I supposed to do? And you just like, you see yarn.
I was just going around just like
you're like a crab, like squishing
next
stuff.
Year, I have an idea. Next year, we get GoPros that we wear on harnesses.
Oh my god, yes. I think that would be smart.
Yeah.
At
Again,
this point,
when
it's the
our-
only way things will be filmed.
When our podcast has subscribers and we're able
We can
to
afford it. My
we
dad
can
has a GoPro we could probably borrow.
I have a friend that has a GoPro.
Because worst comes to worst, it doesn't have to be the three of us. As long as one person at least has enough.
Where link to what? To what, Gerbo? Where link to what? Oh, to the vlog. Well, if you go to our YouTube page and then you click videos and you'll see vlog. You'll see the Knit
You'll
City
see
vlog
Knit
there.
City vlog Allie's
Allie's vlog.
Allie's version.
Yes, Allie's version.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna show my whole butt here and redirect the conversation a little bit. So you know how Taylor Swift is re-recording all of her things,
As
all of
she
all of
should,
her
and is
should,
her
as she
God-given
should,
right. Yeah.
which is kudos to Taylor. I only realized like 2 months ago that when everybody was like Reputation TV, they meant Reputation Taylor's version. I thought she was coming out with new music videos. I'm like, are you remaking all the videos too? Like, what's happening? No, it's TV short for Taylor's version, not television. So that was a thing. That was a thing that I only very recently realized. And
I don't know why I took a sip of my tea as you said that, and I almost spilled. Oh my god. No, it would have been amazing if she had like a whole like Taylor Swift TV streaming service just for her videos and her long form videos.
If Elton John can have his whole own eBay platform,
Does
shop,
he really?
Then
Really?
What is he selling?
Okay, so I saw this ad recently, as in like yesterday. Elton John has decided, in going back through his humongous closets of like all of the things he's worn and had, it happens to the best of us, Allie. I know, right? I am the best of us. True.
Excuse you.
Shots fired!
Seriously.
No, Elton John is staging a huge charity auction of his like costumes, shoes, all the things that he's got in his humongous closets, all in favor of the Elton John's AIDS Foundation,
All right.
which he founded. And it's all going to be hosted by eBay, but like a special eBay platform,
So
which
like
is pretty cool when you think about it.
So that like commentary when someone says like, "Oh, everybody has an Etsy shop." Yeah, even Elton
Literally.
John.
That's that's kind of cool.
I feel like I need a shop now.
Seriously.
But if he can have a shop of stuff, then that means Taylor Swift can have a TV channel.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah,
I would
absolutely.
1000%.
And we want you to, Taylor. Please do that.
Yeah.
Give us that.
The Swifties will go even more bananas.
Yeah.
They scare me. Swifties scare me. I
Yeah.
am in awe of the depth at which they mine photos, lyrics,
Yeah.
anything.
So, before we move on, Andy says the Tolsta tea is the new ranunculus.
Correct.
And it's so correct. Oh my
Correct.
god, what an observation. Because I actually already have plans
Yeah.
for making more Tolstas in different variation. Like plan number 1, are you guys familiar with the Ganni tie top?
Maybe?
So Ganni is like a high fashion brand, and they've come up with this like shirt top that's like sleeveless, and instead of buttons it has like ribbon ties and a little ruffle at the bottom, and people have been taking like thrifted men's button-up shirts and making those into like dupes of the Ganni tie shirt.
Cute.
Well, Rebecca Close Tolsta Tank has a V-neck vest.
No, the vest was a modification she made, but it does have a V-neck. But she includes in her pattern or her project page all the modifications for the vest.
So one of the modifications of the tank is the V-neck vest, and so I'm thinking I want to make the V-neck vest cropped, add a ruffle at the bottom, and I-cord ties, and that's gonna look just like the Ganni shirt.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Because
That's
just to
kinda cool.
clarify, in the UK, vest is not something that opens like a cardigan. A vest is what we would call
pullover.
a tank top.
Yeah.
Right?
A
Where it's like a
pullover.
sleeveless t-shirt. That's a vest in the UK.
Yeah.
We call it a tank top here.
Yeah.
Just
But
clarification.
for me, I'm like actually taking it a step further and opening the front seam, so I'll be knitting flat back and forth, so that I can use I-cords to tie the front. So yeah, that's my Tolsta plans. Are you planning on casting on something new?
I'm
you
so
have
stuck with
Christmas
all my
plans.
Christmas stuff that I don't know. I kind of want to. I still have 3 sweaters that I'm doing for myself right now that I'm still like, but they're all stockinette. So
Yeah.
like they're like, I have one of them here, so they're all like,
you're done the exciting.
yeah, all the
part.
exciting parts are done. So I'm literally just like stocking it away.
Big bag of stockinette. We support.
Stocking it away.
So I might actually want to cast on something like new, just not a sweater. It would probably be like a top or even like socks at this point, just something very different.
Yeah.
Because most of my gifts are like big projects that are like very heavy, cable heavy or pattern heavy, if that makes sense, like complicated patterns. So I'd rather go for something simple that is
you don't
mindless. So it kind of works out that my 3 sweaters are just stuck in it because I don't think I could handle more.
It's good to have a vanilla project on the needles for like when you're on the go or watching TV.
This is why I have my big bag of stockinette. This is something I've just recently introduced, and I plan to make it a regular feature.
Big bag of stockinette.
Where if I have a project that is at like a stockinette face, like the tube of a sweater, sleeves, maybe if I'm making really long socks and it's just like, you know, this much knitting on the leg, I want to put them in this bag, and then that becomes my travel project.
Yeah.
When I'm done with a pair of, if I'm in between with a pair of socks. Otherwise, this would be my knit night project, because anything else that's like lace or cables or whatever, if I do that at home, then I can actually focus on it and not fluff it up.
Yeah.
Which I'm guilty of doing at knit night regularly. So,
I think
big
for
bag of stockinette.
me, it really depends. Like, it's also a matter of like, so this is very much my ADHD, but I hyper focus on things sometimes. So like, this is not the best project I should be doing here, just because I have to look at the pattern. I'd much rather have stockinette or something very simple, so I don't have to look at the pattern. But my stupid mind will say, no, this is boring. You want to keep going with the one that you're interested in.
The one that gives you dopamine.
And this one gives me dopamine, mostly because I just finished the first repeat of the pattern. I love it, and I want to do the second one. And also because I can't start the next one until this one is like finished.
You
and
can't
I really
because
want to
you
get to
don't
the
want
next.
to, or because like it makes you uncomfortable.
A little bit of both, because
Okay.
it's a new project. It's a different technique. Like a
You
similar
want to
technique.
give it more attention.
Yeah, it's a similar technique, but I don't want to confuse both.
Got it.
I'm kind of like making a good leeway on this one. Like
Don't burn yourself out by having 2 or 3 vision projects on the go.
So that's why I want to finish this one before I do the next one, and then then we'll move on. But actually, the next one may not even be fission. I might do another. Well, I have one of the projects I'm gifting is not fission related. It's something else. It's the only one that isn't, so I might actually just go for that one.
Well,
Sounds fun.
speaking of gift knitting, I have a conundrum, and I would like y'all and the people of the internet to chime in with some thoughts and help me with some thoughts and help me make a decision.
This court is now in session. We submit to you the evidence.
Okay, wait, before you flick it over, I just want to say, we're going to be opening up Ravelry. Like, we'll be minimized in the corner, and we'll have Ravelry as the main screen. So if you can't look at Ravelry, if it's not accessible to you, I'm just going to go ahead and show you the photos of the 2 patterns in question. Please tilt your screen down, continue listening to us, and then we'll let you know when we've taken Ravelry off the screen.
And it will be in dark mode. So
it will be in dark mode, but like, do not hurt yourself watching this podcast.
If
that
your
is
eyes hurt.
literally the exact opposite of what we want to do. Okay, so I'm going to be talking about 2 patterns in particular. I want to knit a sweater for my sister. So this is the first one. If you can see it. It's by a Swiss knitting magazine.
What's the name of the pattern?
Oh, that's a great question.
We'll
that
go
was
over
not
that,
what
no
I
worries.
screen capped. And, okay, well, I'll pull up the name after because I didn't screen cap it. And the second one, this is the Ballard sweater by Sari Nordland.
I love saris.
Me too. Okay,
Patterns.
So okay, now we can open up Ravelry. If Ravelry is not for you, please tilt your screen forward now.
Okay.
So
let's go to Rav.
Oh,
we're so small now. Look at us. We're teeny tiny.
all right, so here's my conundrum, folks. My sister, I'm going to knit her a sweater, and I'm really excited about it because it's this beautiful, like, sand color, similar to this one almost, actually, now that I see it. This is the sweater that I want to knit for my sister. The other one is one that she picked, but I don't particularly want to knit the other one, if we can go back to it. Click back, yeah. One more. There we go. It's the Lang Yarns Regina. So I don't particularly want to knit this one for a couple of reasons. Number one, there are no completed projects on this platform for me to see. So I have no idea if there's any structural issues, if there's any fit issues, what people have thought about making the pattern. It's from a Swiss knitting magazine, so there's probably completed ones out there somewhere, but not where I can see them. Mm-hmm. It's also a shape that I just don't like.
Do you mean because it's a drop shoulder square?
It's not so much yes, but not really. It's more that it's just so oversized, and this is the kind of sweater that like fits on certain body types, which is only compounded by reason number 3, I don't want to knit it. It is in no way, shape, or form size inclusive. No. This one has 2 finished sizes, a 52 3/4 bust and a 57.5 inch bust. However, this looks like the model is wearing easily 10 to 15 inches of ease.
Oh, easy.
If not more.
Yeah.
And as such,
look at where the shoulders end. They're at her elbows.
Like there's gonna be so much. You could fit 2 of my sisters in a sweater like this, I think. So this is not a size inclusive sweater. There's no completed projects on Ravelry for me to look at and kind of get some information
comments
on.
too.
No comments
this
whatsoever.
Is very tough.
And it's just overall, it's a sweater that I don't particularly like nor want to knit. Right?
But
however, it's the one my sister picked.
It's not. I was gonna say you might not like it, but it's not for you.
It's not for me.
So yeah,
it's
obviously the reason, like you not liking the shape, I would say
we can discard that
reason. She's the one who. However,
so what is it about the shape that you don't like?
I think it's just how oversized it is.
Okay, so it's the fit.
It's the fit because of like the thing is, my sister is a really tall human being. She's 6 feet tall. She'd tell you 5'11" and a half. Ooh. But she's 6 feet tall, and she's like she's very athletically built. She's broad of shoulder, tall. Like this is a powerhouse of a human being, and she is, in my opinion, so incredibly beautiful that this is just going to swallow her up. Like, yeah, sure, cropped is her thing. We can make it cropped, not a problem. But I don't know. It's just not something that I see being flattering on her.
The neck is huge. The sleeves are huge. And there is no waist shaping.
And on top of that, because she lives in Vancouver and I live in Ottawa, it's not like I can have fit checks with her easily. Right? So, I mean, I'm already stuck at the whole it's not size inclusive and there's no completed patterns. Those are really like what's sticking in my craw. The fact that I don't particularly like the sweater is not helping either, but like whatever, I can get over that. I really want to knit the Ballard sweater because I think it's going to be more flattering on her, and I think that it's also there we go. I think it's going to be more flattering on her. I think there's going to be less fit issues because there's already completed projects. The designer has an email account where you can email with questions, and from what my understanding is, she's incredibly responsive. So if I did stumble across anything that weren't mentioned in the comments or in project pages, that I should be able to get help for pretty quickly.
So here's my first observation. The construction based on this person's project is very similar.
Yeah.
However, the sleeves are set in instead of drop shoulder, which gives you like a better fit under the arm. You can still make a size that will be oversized on your sister.
Yeah. And I think
but the neckline is so much better.
Right?
It's a double neckline, seamed at the top, which means it's not going to stretch out. It's a minimum of 2 inches, whereas the other one, if we look back, is a single rib.
It looks almost boat neck-ish, or like it could get... And I have no idea, again, because there's no completed projects, what the difference is between the sizes. Like, has the designer of the Regina sweater kept the neckline the same size between the sizes, and then you're just casting on more stitches in the shoulder and the body? Or is it that the larger size has an even wider neckline?
So
see, this person is wearing it a lot more negative
right?
ease.
And this is the kind of neckline that, like, of the sweaters my sister has, like, I see a lot more of that shape of neckline and shoulder in her wardrobe. Maybe. Granted, I don't see the entirety of her wardrobe, but this is more what I have come to understand is in her closet.
So let's compare this person's project versus the designer's. If we go back to the details, this is the way that Sari Nordlund is like modeling it. She's wearing probably like 10 inches minimum of positive ease. Look at where her shoulder
and
is.
and it's fitted. The arm is fitted. It's not like super loose. Because again,
it looks like the arm is like...
My sister lives in Vancouver. She wears a raincoat a lot.
So she won't be able to wear it under.
Like, the shoulder being at her elbow is just not practical for being in and out of raincoats all the time.
Right.
This is also a size inclusive pattern.
Okay, well, I mean, you have a little bit of a bias because this is the one that you want to make.
Yes, 100%. 100%.
I can, this is just my observation. The one thing I'm noticing between the two, and I can kind of understand, is with the one that you like, the neck is really fitted around the neck.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I hate that. So this is what I would prefer for the neck, just the neck. The rest I don't care. But the neck part, in this case, it's a little bit more like, so I don't know if there's a way for you to open it up a little bit more, just because it depends. If
that would be, there probably is. Like, I could probably just cast on a larger size.
Yeah.
And then just
stop the increases.
What I would ask her is what attracted her to this.
Yeah.
Was it
what
the
is
neckline?
it that you like
was
about
it the pattern?
Is
was
it the
it
cables?
the oversized?
Yeah.
Because if it's just the cable, then that's an easy fit. But if it's the neckline, then you know that that's the one area you might need to, like, you know, fiddle with.
Meg, if you... she's not watching right now because she's working. I think she's in Victoria this weekend working. But when you do, if you do watch this in the near future, please chime in. Let me know what you think.
Because they're both very, like, I enjoy both, but I understand.
Both really nice.
I understand what you're saying, because this one is definitely a better.
I think I might knit this one for
overall.
myself at some point in the future.
But that's the thing, is that, that's more the concern of, like, it's one thing to, but I get it. Like, essentially, if you were to knit the other one, it would not be an enjoyable experience.
No, it wouldn't. But, like, just, I don't know. I think it's mostly just that, like, we can take everything off of and go back to just us now.
No more Ravelry. You can see us again.
Goodbye.
Yes.
All right.
Goodbye. Thank you very much, media. Ooh,
Sherry says she loves the Ballard sweater. Andy says talk to your sister and explain, like, what the problematic parts are.
Yeah.
Right? And give her the information that she needs to really make a decision.
Yeah.
Like, the way that I think about this is...
Construction is where I keep freezing up. Where did I put my phone? Oh, there it is.
The way that I think about gift knitting is in a very selfish way, which is I need to want to do it and enjoy doing it in order for it to be a gift. Because
and for it to get finished.
For it to get finished, exactly. Because if I don't like it, I'm not enjoyable, I'm not enjoying it, or, like, the fiber hurts my fingers, or I hate the pattern. Number one, is probably not going to get done. And number two, at that point, I'm just working for you and I don't want it.
And I don't want to put negative intentions into a project that I give to someone who I care about, who's in, like, the top 3 people that I care about in the world. Which would be my mom and dad as well, Meg. Don't worry. It's not, obviously, you're my favorite sibling.
It's not being put in.
That I'm related to.
Oh, okay. That you're
Did I not say that?
Woo!
But clearly, also... Yes, because I think for me, when it comes to, like, I'm knitting a gift, I also understand that if I'm giving the person the choice, maybe tell them, okay, well, choose 2 or 3 similar ideas so that I can figure out which one, or give them the guidelines, or the, like, for example, please make sure the pattern is size inclusive, or please make sure avoid these designers, or whatever.
But that's like another thing that you put on the gift receiver to know how to search for patterns, which is something that we have years of experience on.
Or you just tell them, guys, I'm going to choose for you.
Well, here's the thing. What I did... Oh, here he comes. Here's the boy. Here's the baby.
Here comes the
baby and most precious. What I did...
the mascot. Hello, boy.
What I did was I set up a search on Ravelry with specific parameters.
Yeah. And sent her the search. And,
like, I logged in on her computer because it was at Christmas when I was there last. No, sorry, in April when I was there last. And I just logged in. I set up the parameters, and I just was like, "You look." But based off of the ones she chose, it looks like she got, like, deep into the minds of Ravelry before she picked. She sent me 2 that she liked, and the other one that she chose, like, just doesn't work with the yarn that I have.
Okay.
So I've kind of disregarded that one. But it looked like she like, you know how when you have at the bottom, it's like page 1, 2, 3, ... 307, 308, and then the arrow? It looks like she might have accidentally gone to, like, the end of the search.
Ooh, so she got the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah.
Because the ones that she sent me are, like, designers I've never heard of. When I looked them up, they were, like, deep in the minds of
How
Ravelry.
did you sort the results of the search? Because I usually sort by stars. But usually when you search, it defaults to what's most relevant.
Yes.
So she might have, if he was sorted by most relevant and she went to the last pages,
That's true.
it means that she probably got the ones that like just barely make the criteria of the search.
I had it sorted by popularity.
So it could also be that they're just not popular enough.
I know you.
Gerbo says, just be like, I know you like the red one, but it sucks and comes filled with malware.
That is a very appropriate way to say
These are the ones that you wanted.
Because, I mean, for every other project you've made for her, was it her who chose it, or was it you who chose it?
So, for the socks, it's been a mix. Mostly what'll happen is, like, she'll choose either the pattern or the yarn, or I will just choose both, knowing what her, like, color scheme is. But with socks, you have more leeway, right?
Yeah, exactly.
The vest, the top that I made her, I'm just trying to remember what the whole thing was of it. I think what I did was I picked a pattern and I had some yarn and I like sent it to her with the eyeball emojis.
Yeah.
And she went, "Oh my god, monochrome, like one color," and I went done because
done.
it was one that like looked so good.
Because it could also
because
be
you
that
wanted to make that one and you're like, do you want this?
yeah. So it could also be that she's not necessarily. But this is the first time she chooses for herself.
Exactly.
She may not necessarily know what's the better.
That I made her, the Rhoda vest. That was one where she sent me a photo of
a crochet vest.
Crochet vest that was worn on a TV show by Amelia Clark, of all people, actually. Mother of
Really?
Dragons. Yeah. It was a photo of her from something.
Mother of Dragons.
Oh, we've frozen a little bit on the screen. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Our volume still seems to be working?
Yeah. Why is this happening?
I don't know.
That's very strange.
Did you charge your phone? Is your phone...
My phone's connected.
Oh, it is connected.
Okay.
Can
Just
you
a
hear
second.
us? If you can't hear us...
We're back.
All right.
Thank you for your
I can hear
patience.
you. Gerbo can hear us, but that might be because it's just down the hall too.
Right.
Anyway, what was I saying? So the vest that I knit my sister, she sent me a photo of one that she really liked.
But it was crocheting.
I found a knit one that looked really similar. I can't remember if I sent her two options or if I just sent her
You
the
did,
one.
because I remember you showing me the options that you found.
Yeah.
So then I must have showed her two options and then she chose from there. But I chose the yarn because I was going off of what I had in my stash. Which is why I then had to have Pete and Andrea, our local engineers,
essentially re-gauge.
redo the math and everything for me and help me with that.
But it seems like in those cases you've either compromised or you found something that would work for her. So I have a feeling she'll be very okay with...
Oh, I have zero doubt that if I knit her the sweater that I personally selected, in like, even if it was in like bright pink yarn, she would take it knowing full well what had gone into it and be grateful for that. Should she wear it all that often? Probably not, but that's fine.
Yeah. I think what I would want to do is exactly what Andy put in the chat, which is ask your sister what it is about the red sweater that she likes. Yeah. And then you can use that to modify the pattern. The pattern of the one that you actually want to do.
If it's the neckline, then that's what you need to worry about. If it's the cable, you don't really have to worry about it.
Easy peasy, you got it.
I just wish she wasn't so busy, because then I could just like... All I need to do was catch her for like 5 minutes on a call. Yeah. So I could be like, tell me what it... Because it's one thing to put it in text message. It's not
the second she hears this, she'll be like calling you.
Because here's another thing. You can just like take the look of that one that she liked and apply it to the Sarah Nordlund pattern, which means make it crop, make it additional, like maybe 20 inches of positive ease, extend the neckline or reduce the rib at the neckline so it's a little bit more boat necky. You know, but the sleeves will fit better, the armholes will fit better, the cables will be better done.
Because it also it may be one of those cases where she likes the garment, but she doesn't really think about what is it going to look like on herself.
Well, obviously she wouldn't, no, she'd think about that, but she wouldn't understand the construction aspect of it because she's not a knitter.
That's
right.
right.
Well,
That's
yeah, not only that, but like,
has.
because I know I'm guilty of that, where sometimes I see something that looks really cool, and I'm like, that looks amazing, and then I try it, and I'm like, that looks like shit on me. Right? Because it's like, you don't think, this may be beautiful, but may not work for you personally, right?
Or like, okay, so like, silly example, but like I made a ranunculus summer shirt, which I've shown in the podcast before, like pink and yellow and orange. Really cute. When I made it, I loved it. My body changed since then. It's been a couple of years. I wore it recently, saw myself in a picture, and thought, oh, yeah, I don't like that anymore. The sleeve doesn't fit the shape of my arms anymore. And the hip is kind of stretching too much, where it like the cast on is too fitted around my waist, so the rest of the shirt kind of balloons at the edge, and I don't like that.
Right.
So now I'm gonna have to go back, rip off some of the bottom, crop it a little bit more so it fits better, and do a different cast off, probably an I-cord cast off, so that it's more stretchy, and add the extra length to the sleeves.
Yeah.
And so take into account that when you're making a pattern, the way that it's designed for the shape of the body of the designer that the designer had in mind. So if you are curvy or have zero curves, you're built like a stick of pasta, that's probably not going to fit you very nicely. If you have like wider hips and you have bust, it's probably not going to fit you very nicely, right? So I would take a look at what Meg's closet looks like and just make some executive choices.
Yeah. You make a good point.
Yeah.
Megan, when you watch this, call me. I'm begging you. I have the yarn. I want to start on it. I'm so excited to knit her a sweater. I just can't commit because I can't make this decision, but y'all are right. I need to talk to her about it.
Yeah.
The only problem is her schedule is like 0 to 100 in 2.5.
But we love you, Meg, because you're
honestly,
training to be one of those incredible professionals that are going to save our lives.
If she has the time to watch this, she can probably just text and go like, option number 1 or option number 2, and that's it. You know what I mean?
You know what? Take the photo of the sweater you like and circle what you like about it and cross out what you don't.
Yeah, there we go. Like easy
when
peasy.
you go to get a massage and there's like a little person drawing and you're like, circle where it hurts, and you're like, everything.
All of it.
All of it hurts.
So in the meantime, I'm just going to carry on with my multitude of projects, my languishing whips, which I'm making good progress on.
Yeah,
that's good.
The sweater that I was working on last time, I've bound off the body, and I've got the first sleeve started. I am committing to doing 8 rows, so like 1 decrease set each day, while I also work on the things I want to work on, like this sweater. And we moving, we grooving.
We moving and we grooving.
And I just can't wait till I have reduced the number of stitches on that sleeve till I can put it on a 9-inch. Because right now I'm doing it on magic loop, and I want to yeet the whole project out of the window.
I love magic loop. I'll do that for you. But your tension and mine are miles.
Oh my gosh! Funny story. So I have a pair of socks, a languishing whip from September 2022 that I was doing in tandem on 2 at a time on magic loop. Because I was doing like a gradient fade and I wanted them to match, right?
Yeah.
So I was like doing a lot of yarn management, a lot of striping. I got past the ankle and I stalled out a while ago. I was like, I hate this. I hate working 2 at a time. I can't do this. Finally, I picked them back up and I was like, you know what? Screw this. And I took them off the magic loop and I put them on a 9.5 circular. I split the yarn that I had working on it evenly. And I was like, I'm just going to go till I run out of this first ball. And the second ball, then I'll split when I get to the end of the first one, right? And in the 18 months that it took me to do the foot and heel of the socks, I have knit almost the entire leg of both of them in 3 days.
I'm wondering if I'm alone in the magic loop train, because I actually quite love it. I love it so much. I'm teaching a class on socks 2 at a time. Absolutely 0 people have signed up. Am I alone? Am I the only one in the world likes it?
So I have been joining the I've been reading through and following the forums on Ravelry for the Crazy Sock Ladies summer sock camp. Yeah. And it is like people are like ride or die Magic Loop.
Really?
Like I have posted photos and I have said things like, "Oh, I'm like a big fan of like 9-inch circulars, blah 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 blah." And then people are like, "Oh, have you tried Magic Loop?" And I'm like, "Yes, and I hate it."
Yes,
and they're like,
have.
They're like, "But why
Shut
though?"
up.
They're like, "But why though?" Like so many people are ride or die.
You know what? We have to stop.
I think you're just friends with the wrong people.
You know, but I mean, if you don't like a technique, that's like people should be like, well, you should. You know, like it's, you either love it or you hate it, and
you're
that's
not
okay.
alone.
Yeah. Amy loves Magic Loop for socks. Magic
There we
Loop
go.
team. Tell us in the chat.
I have to admit, I'm kind of I just don't like socks. So like either way,
totally fair. Totally fair. I'm
Yeah.
interested in knowing like what y'all's preferred sock making method is. If you like socks,
I mean,
I'm a Magic Loop two at a time.
To be fair, I think for me it's more that I haven't made enough to actually like find the technique that works for me. I've tried the Magic Loop. I enjoyed it. I've tried the one sock on Magic Loop at a time. Yeah. Or both at the same time. I've also tried the 9mm. That one I still...
That one makes me feel like a dainty little lady.
My problem
having
is...
tea and crumpets.
I have fat fingers.
It's exactly... Because I'm like knitting on the 9
I'm like, oh my god, this is...
Where
like,
I have T-Rex hands. My hands are so small.
Big fat fingers and... Yeah,
we have the same size hands.
It's not that small. It's not.
Your hands are a bit bigger than ours.
So like... So, 9mm and me are not necessarily good friends. Doesn't mean I wouldn't. I feel like I would have to get used to it. Right?
Yeah.
But let's just say these fingers are never playing piano.
Okay. And like I recently also got myself a pair of flexi tip, like Addy flexi tips.
Which you like?
I love them. Yeah. And I know that our friend Pete also knits socks on flexi flips. Yeah. So
I want to try that. That's what I haven't tried yet.
Carolyn who also uses? No, Carolyn's the DPN fiend.
Carolyn likes DPNs because like
there's somebody else in
extreme
also
Carolyn
really into flex. Is it
DPNs? Woo! They're an adventure. Because I feel like the risk of the DPN just sliding out of the sock is just so much bigger.
Liz says mom flies along with her socks on Magic Loop, and Andrea says toe up, start them on DPNs, and then transfer to Magic Loop.
Toe up. That's cool. Yeah. Toe up with like the magic cast on.
The Turkish
cast on.
No, there's the Turkish cast on, and then there's Judy's magic cast on.
They're different.
They're different, but they're similar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stab myself with DPN. Yeah. Me too. I stab myself with DPN.
I stab myself with my lace tip.
I don't want to, but it happens. Yeah. And we're coming a little bit after the hour mark, so I want us to end with some knitspiration. I need a little little sound.
You need a little segue.
Like,
a little
sound segue.
We should get one of those like soundboards that you can like put sounds in and then just hit.
I mean, this like software has something, but we have to put sounds in it in order to press the button.
Okay, well, we can get there.
Yeah. Somebody make us a jingle for like knitspiration.
This is the episode with all the technical difficulties.
That's right.
Aren't they all?
Yeah. So
I mean, yeah.
So Carine, is something knitspiring you today? Or this week?
Well, I mean, honeycomb?
Honeycombs!
Bees. I have a feeling, like, this is what inspired me to start this, is I love bees so much. So, like, just the honeycomb vibe is what really is inspiring me right now.
It's so beautiful.
I love it. And hexagons
again,
are the bestagons, obviously.
Yeah. And obviously this is the one thing that I'm working on right now. So, again, my hyper-focused is just...
Yeah, you're like, this brings me joy. I'm going to milk it until it's done.
Until it doesn't bring me joy anymore. And then I'll be like, I want to cast it in the fire.
Yeah.
But for now, it's still okay.
Honeycombs. Very nice. Allie, what's knitspiring you?
Helical knitting.
Helical knitting.
I'm not doing it on this project because I bought skeins of yarn that are from the same lot. But I did actually bring the project, which is the socks that I mentioned not 5 minutes ago.
Allie and her receipts, I tell you.
Honestly,
Right.
I do things not by halves because I am so
Always whole ass everything.
So oh no, I dropped a stitch. Oh.
They're so cute.
So these are a birthday gift for my cousin Sedge. Her birthday was on Wednesday. Happy belated, buddy.
Happy belated birthday.
I went to her
Sedge.
pool party that kind of wasn't a pool party because it rained, but that's fine.
Whatever.
That's fine. It's cool. So I knit from the toe to like here in 18 months, and then I knit from here to there on both socks in 3.5 days because I swapped finally to the method that I like.
I love this garter stitch toe.
So this is the Fluorite pattern by Andrea Mallory.
Fluoride?
Right? Fluorite, like the stone.
Oh, no, not like the toothpaste?
No.
Okay.
And the pattern is designed to be knit with like stockinette stitch, but then you turn it inside out afterwards.
Of course.
But me being a dum-dum, when I started and was doing my like striping as I faded from one color to another, did my yarn management on the inside.
A dum-dum or a genius?
So I'm not going to flip them out because they're supposed to be garter on the outside.
I love the stockinette side,
But
though.
I'm going to keep it a
Yeah.
stockinette because I love how it looks. But what I'm saying is I swapped from going like carrying the yarn up the side all through here, and then started helical knitting with the this newest mini at the top, and it is so much faster and it's so much more enjoyable.
Yeah.
And it just like now I don't have like yarns going up the side and like awkward tension at all. Like you couldn't even see where the joint is.
Did you increase at the calf?
Yes, that's how the pattern is written. So I have the other ones on the magic loop because I only have one pair of 9-inch circulars in this size. But essentially, as you can see here, this is where I was like striping and carrying up the yarn. It's like you can see the like awkward, that is that right side, right?
Yeah.
No, it's this side, sorry. So you can see the awkward like tense spots where I pulled the yarn as I was looping it. But up here, you can't. You couldn't even tell that this is where, because when you're helical knitting, you knit to 4 stitches before the new yarn or the old yarn, and then you pick up the old yarn and go around. So your overlap is constantly moving around. And
Explain to me what's happening here, because I see yarn attached to both.
Yeah, so I am a bit obsessive about things matching.
Oh, so you have one
you're
end on
doing
the
it-
ball on one sock, and the other end of the
So
ball
this
in
is
the
the
other
new ball.
sock.
Okay.
This is
Understood.
the old ball. I helical knit on this sock until the old ball was done. I'm helical knitting on this sock now until the old ball is done, and then whatever's left in the new ball, I'll split in half and then carry on from there.
And you're splitting in half by taking from the inside and the outside of the ball.
Like I said, I'm obsessive about things matching.
But like, this is making you now an expert.
Yes, and now I love helical knitting so much that I went out to Wabi Sabi, our local yarn store, and today I think is the last day of the Riverside Studio Trunk Show, but she has the most beautiful speckled yarns, and I purchased a sock yarn skein that's called Prism, and it's got rainbow speckles on it, and I was like, I'm going to helical knit so many scrappy socks, I don't know, and I think I saw somebody on Ravelry who's doing something called dating pairs of socks, in the sense that
dating.
Okay, so she's doing a bunch of scrappy socks, and she has married pairs, dating pairs, and Franken socks. And so what she's doing is her married pairs are scrappy socks that are perfectly identical, like these two, right?
That's
perfectly
so
identical.
cute.
Her dating pair are two socks that have the same yarns but different striping sequences, because she's just pulling out like as she knits one sock and then she knits the other,
that's really
same colors but they
sad.
don't match. And then her Franken socks are she's just knitting individual scrappy socks, and they're all going to go into a bag, and she's just going to pull 2 out at a time when she wants to wear them, but they don't go as they're not designed to be a pair. They're a bunch of singles that she can wear together.
They're single and ready to mingle.
Right?
They're swingers.
Because they can swap the pairs. I'm sorry. So while this...
Yeah, make yourself a basket of swinger socks.
This is not how I thought this episode was going to go at all.
Swinger socks, baby.
Never a dull moment. So while these are a married pair, because they match, the skein of yarn that I got from Wabi Sabi will be a dating pair, because I'll have like the cuff, the heel, and the toe matching, but I'll helical stripe in the scraps.
Nice.
Whatever I pull out of the thing. So.
Yeah. That's so fun.
It's
really
complicated
fun.
socks.
It's complicated.
Or as Andrea says, the pineapple pattern socks.
Yeah. we can make some that are like start married and then go dating and then go single, and we can call them like it's a situationship socks.
Something like that, yeah. So
So
That's
I'm
right.
currently being inspired by a designer that goes on Instagram by Disyarning. Not like this, but like Disyarning.
D-I-S.
D-I-S yarning. I forget what their name
Their
is.
patterns are amazing.
Their patterns are incredible. And this week, or I think next week, they're starting a knit along with Bisexual Toronto. And they're going to be knitting along the socks called Adventuring Party socks.
Oh, those are so cute.
It's a line of designed colorwork sock cuffs. Well, actually, the whole socks are designed in colorwork. And they are meant to represent your Dungeons & Dragons class. So you can make the fighter socks, the druid socks,
That's
the
so
paladin
good.
socks, the wizard socks. I'm so excited. Like, I honestly don't have time in my life for another knit along, but I'm probably gonna cast them on anyway because
I
they're
feel
just
you.
beautiful. The way that they designed the, like, they're not logos, they're more like a coat of arms for each one of the sock cuffs is so incredibly impressive.
Yeah.
It looks coherent amongst all the different classes, like of all the different patterns, but at the same time they're like unique in their own way because they have like the different weapons or like magical elements, etc. And they look incredible. I want to make a pair of all of the D&D classes. So
Make
yeah.
one for every new character.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
Every
absolutely.
character.
It's so fun. So if you
Aw.
haven't seen Disyarning, I really do recommend go give them a look. They
Yeah.
they are the ones that created the super popular Possibility of Crows.
Yeah, yeah.
There was a big cardigan with a huge crow like
Oh,
skeleton,
yeah,
skull
yeah.
with like moons and stuff. I
Yeah.
think it's called Possibility of Crows, if I'm not mistaken, or the
And-
Corvidae or something.
Yeah, so they
Crow
are
related.
great. So this one, eh?
That's the one.
Oh,
That's
so
the one.
this,
beautiful.
This is the sweater that Anahí is talking about. Oh, sorry for the
glare.
No glare.
Sorry for the glare. But do they have? No.
Yeah,
it's not.
those are.
These are the
those
ones?
Some. Yeah.
So these are some of the
Some.
other. They are incredible with their color work.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
So amazing color work and very well written patterns.
Yeah.
So yeah, they have a knit along starting pretty soon. So I'm gonna jump on board and get on that
Yep.
adventuring party.
Nice.
It looks
trend.
really cool. Yeah, their color
Yeah.
work is amazing.
This is like the second or third time that D&D
look at these
intersects
Sailor
with
Moon
knitting.
ones.
Isn't that nice?
And
I
yeah, as
love
you can
it
see,
when my two fandoms
it's yarning at the
collide.
top. Whee!
So fun, so fun.
Yeah. So they're great.
Yeah.
Harper is their name.
Harper is their name.
Harper
Yeah.
is their name. They're fantastic.
Thank you, Harper, for amazing work on these adventuring party socks. I'm
gonna be
so
awesome.
excited and I'm like extremely inspired by
I
them.
can't wait to see what you create.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to see all of the comments that we missed. Because
Seriously.
it looks like you guys have been so busy in the chat. Thank you so much for watching.
Yay! This is so much better than when no one watched.
This is so much better. Yeah, although thank you for also not watching those initial ones because we were so nervous.
Oh, God,
and I feel
yeah,
like
we
now
were
we're a
like-
lot more comfortable.
That's what we were like, because we were like struggling to find things to say.
Yeah, we were forgetting to turn on the mic. It was just a hot
5
mess.
minutes one time.
Yeah, it gets more. It gets easier every time.
Yeah.
I think.
We're getting better and we're getting more comfortable.
And
Thank you
less
for
self-conscious about
accompanying. Yes, and thank you for accompanying us on this learning journey.
Exactly.
Because that's what it is.
And we'll see you again in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
For another episode or stream. We'll decide on the fly. Just like
Have a
everything
great
in our
long
life.
weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully you're enjoying whatever it is that you do. You're enjoying it,
Tomorrow
and
and
you're
Monday.
hopefully with family or friends or however you want to celebrate.
Or at least having a good meal.
As long as you're
That's
having a
right.
good time, that's what matters.
Have a good one.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.